Streets dance, snapback caps at rallies, ready. Spirits never lack, lost in pride but style in the swag sack. In the quad, we ain't never gonna stop. In the quad, we always on top. In the quad, feel the music drop. In the quad, roots run deep.
What's going on, HBCU family? It is Tuesday, November 12th, and you are locked into In the Quad with Nick Eden. I am your gracious host, Nick Eden, and we are back with another show. Real quick, y'all, before I start off, man, I want to shout out somebody in the chat on our YouTube channel. Head over to YouTube if you haven't subscribed yet. Shout out to Jay, man. Big shout out to Jay. Listen, this young brother, young JSU student, he is doing his thing with his new channel, JTV Videos, marching band content. Look, we got to get this young brother monetized, all right? His views have been crazy. He's been doing his thing. So he's in the chat, and I just wanted to shout him out. I love seeing young folks enter this space. And I say young, y'all know I'm only 23. But I just wanted to shout him out real quick and just say, look, head on over to JTV Videos, subscribe. You get some great marching band content. Great young brother in the space. Great young brother. What's going on, family? Now, just heads up. It's storming here, and we might be on some trash Wi-Fi. I'm looking at it now on because it looks clear on my end, right? I'm looking at it on YouTube and I'm like, ooh, so this might be one of those shows. We're gonna figure this thing out. But let me just go ahead and say real quick. I love all the energy that's coming out of HBCU Twitter, HBCU Facebook, and IG. There's a lot of people that are like really showing love to the show. I can't express enough how much I appreciate you all. I've said it time and time again, I was not going to come back to podcasting. I was just going to ride out with the calendar and that be it. But, you guys have really reignited this love for podcasting in me. And, I can't stress enough how much I actually appreciate you all. Look, y'all, we got a packed show today. If you are brand new to, and you're going to get those credentials, Jay, I know they're going to come through with them. They always last minute with stuff. I'm dealing with that on another issue that I'll talk about later this week. But if you are new to In the Quad with Nick Eden, In the Quad Nick Eden takes all of the HBCU trending topics across the HBCU landscape. That's TikTok, Fizz, Snapchat, Facebook, IG, Twitter/X, and we condense them down into two parts of the show. The first part of the show is our main topics. Those are four main topics trending across the entire HBCU landscape. The second part of the show is my absolute favorite, and that is our fam topics. That's the portion of the show where you, the viewer, actually writes in and you let us know your thoughts or your questions. And if you want to get your questions or comments on Fam Topics, Twitter at Nick Eden on IG, click the link tree in the bio and submit your question. If it is appropriate, we will read them on the show. Me and Uncle Samson. Y'all meet Uncle Samson a little later on if you hadn't met him already. If it's not appropriate, look, let me say this. Y'all, seriously. Fellas, I'm talking specifically to the guys. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, but I don't know any other way to say it. Y'all, come on with the bull, man. Come on with it. Like, y'all got to cut this out. I got a fam topic question last night that was completely out of pocket. You know who you are. I'm not going to say who it was about. Stop worrying about if I am screwing this person or that person, because, again, we just got to do better, man. Let's respect our women just a little bit better than what we're doing. Fellas, seriously. It's not cool. I wouldn't even entertain something like that. The fact that you thought that I might entertain something like that, I don't know what to tell you. Those types of questions and comments won't be read. They won't be tolerated. And quite frankly, I was this close to paying the $7 to find out who you were, because I think y'all know y'all can submit them anonymously. And that's what makes y'all real bold on this platform. I was this close to paying the $7 to find out who you were and then blasting you publicly about it because it's not cool. Not cool at all. It's not cool. It's disrespectful to the women. It's disrespectful as a man. Like, come on, y'all. We got to do better. We just got to do better. So, yeah, that's kind of where I am with it, man. Let's just make sure that we're being a little bit more respectful than we are. Anyway, so now that we got that little bit of mess out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our main topics. I am excited about this, and shout out to them. I was this close. Let me say this right now. Y'all know I'm a Bama State alum. And in a normal circumstance, I do not fool with Tuskegee at all. Right? The beef is real. I have one Tuskegee shirt. And the only reason I have that shirt is because my daughter is there. And when we had her decision day, I wore the shirt. It's been in the back of my closet ever since. I was this close to wearing it because I was so excited about the actions that Tuskegee has taken. And, so I want to shout them out. Especially, I want to shout out Dr. Brown. So, all right, y'all. So, coming off of a mass shooting, Tuskegee has been prompted to change its open campus policy. This was actually written, now this is in the Charlotte Observer, but it was actually written by Stephen J. Gaither of HBCU Game Day, friend of the show. Tuskegee University has announced a big shift on its campus after the historic HBCU experienced a mass shooting on its campus. One person died and 16 others were injured in a mass shooting during the school's homecoming, celebrating its 100th. Over the weekend, the Alabama-based HBCU sent out a statement informing the world it would no longer be an open campus. I talked about this yesterday. Effective immediately, everyone will be required to show a university ID to enter campus. Tuskegee University President Dr. Mark A. Brown said in a statement, students, faculty, and staff must wear their IDs at all times while on campus. The university says for those who do not have one, the team in the public safety building across from the main gate will be able to provide one. Latavion Johnson, an 18-year-old was killed in the mass shooting. Johnson was not a student at Tuskegee University. An annual homecoming is something we've been doing for 100 years. It's a tradition at many schools, and especially so at HBCUs. We have no plans to change that tradition. 4 people went to the hospital with non-shooting related injuries, and 12 others were hit in the mass shooting. We did not, nor could we have planned for security at an event that was not approved in advance or officially sanctioned by the university. Nonetheless, it happened on our campus, and we take full responsibility for allowing a thorough investigation and implementing corrective actions. It should also be noted, y'all, that the head of security was fired coming off of this. And I haven't read that story yet, so I don't know all the details of it, but I do know that he was let go from that position. And the details around it, I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks. But yes, definitely prayers to Tuskegee. School rivalry and all that mess aside, man, look, this is something that should not have happened. You never want to see something like this happen. That's one of the reasons anytime I do my final thoughts, I always say be safe for that exact reason. And to that young man who was not a student, in one of the videos, and his parents were actually interviewed, he actually pushed a young lady out of the way and then was shot. So, by all accounts, that young man died a hero. And I hate that. I really do, because now these parents are losing a child. That they've lost a child, and now they have to plan a funeral instead of a celebration. So, yeah, man. I have been, and I'm admitted this time and time again, I have been very adamant about the fact that this personally affected me in a way that I think I'm still dealing with, and I appreciate everybody who's reached out, just kind of checking in on me on this. But take me out of the equation. It's a bunch of other students there. Yesterday and today, Tuskegee closed the campus for classes. They're offering mental health and grievance services. So I appreciate Tuskegee University for taking the appropriate steps to do as much as they can to ensure safety, as much as you possibly can in a situation like this. So yeah, hopefully we can move on from this and celebrate those prayers for a speedy recovery to the folks who who were injured, who lost their lives, who suffered any type of physical or mental trauma based on this. And we'll just go from there. That's the only thing we can do. But, as always, I would like to hear your thoughts on it. So head on over to Twitter/X at Nick Eden and let me know your thoughts. All right. So let's go to our second main topic. A lot on the brighter side. And I've been saying this for years. Y'all gonna stop sleeping. And of course, it's the wrong daggone graphic, but y'all gonna stop sleeping on HBCU hoops. Y'all gonna stop sleeping on them. I'm not gonna put that graphic back up there because it's the wrong one. Because this was definitely about Norfolk's women basketball, and that was a whole dude from Grambling. It's live. What do you expect? But this actually comes to us from our friends over at HBCU Game Day. This past Sunday, in a thrilling Sunday afternoon showdown, Norfolk State's women's basketball team edged out Missouri with a 57-54 victory, marking a significant win for the HBCU in a head-to-head battle against an FCS opponent. This triumph not only elevated Norfolk State to a perfect 3-0 record, but also highlighted the competitive edge HBCUs can bring when facing powerhouses from conference like the SEC. Now, I will say, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was either last year on the men's side. It was, I want to say it was Southern. It was either Southern or Jackson State that also beat Mizzou. And listen, we talk in football all the time about money games. We talk all the time about playing these out-of-conference games of these SEC opponents and any other group of five or power five opponents. But in hoops, these victories have been coming. Like, again, last year, it was either Southern or Jackson State that beat Mizzou. I know Alabama State beat Auburn. Grambling just last week were literally within one score of beating Ole Miss. Like, we got to really talk about the fact that especially, the SWAC and the MEAC are doing their thing when it comes to these basketball programs. They are competitive. They are besting these out-of-conference games. So by the time they get to SWAC play, like, we're talking about a whole nother level, and I'm really looking forward, even though I say all the time, I'm not a basketball guy. I'm not. But, hey, they're pulling these games off. And I will also say this, because and if y'all want to read the whole story, head over to HBCU Game Day. I will also say this. Y'all, start going to these games. Start going to them. Like, there's no reason that our basketball teams, both men and women, should be playing in empty arenas. And I get it. I get it. We're kind of conditioned for football to just be really in that thing, but we got to support these basketball programs. We do. Like, shout out to Alabama A&M. I think they were sold out on their basketball season opener. Man, y'all got me shouting out Tuskegee and A&M. What is going on? Please do not let Jay White see this crap. Gosh. But shout out to them for a sellout home crowd. They have a beautiful new facility. It's about, a year and a half old. So big shout out to them on that. And we got to show up for the games. And I promise you, when you show up for the games, like, it's seen. Like, I remember back in the day, I'm a little older than y'all. I know I'm 26, plus shipping and handling. But I remember back in the day, that ASU A&M game in the Acadome would be packed. I mean, packed. Standing room. You trying to squeeze in and get like it. I would love to see that again. And if you can't make the game, look, buy a ticket, gift it to somebody in the community. It's plenty of young brothers and sisters out there that's playing hoops at high school. And I mean, the opportunity for them to go, like, prime example, last year when we played USC, everybody packed it out at the Acadome at Bama State. I mean, in real, they packed it out because Bronny James was there. That's fine. But for whatever reason, you also saw a competitive game. So for everybody who will sit in your house and watch basketball over and over and over again, go pack out those games. I think we've seen that when you show support, we've seen that, if nothing else, we've seen it from the WNBA this year. When you show support, pack out those games, look, people will support. They will support financially. It brings a lot to the school, and it brings a lot to the morale of our men and women's teams that are playing so hard. So yeah, man. Shout out to Norfolk. Norfolk is one of my picks for. I think they're gonna definitely dominate the conference this year when it comes to MEAC play. And they're one of my picks for heading to the NCAA tournament. So yeah, we're gonna take our first commercial break. We will be right back. When we come back, we'll be back with our next main topics. It's in the quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, when I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, "You're gonna love this." He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, "These cars are going fast," I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue, with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
No charger?
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day. See you next week.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden, where we are covering the hottest HBCU topics. And quite frankly, I don't know if y'all can even see it because the storm is so bad and the Wi-Fi is trash. So we're gonna have to do something about this because my goodness, it's supposed to be cold, not raining. But then again, I'm on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, so yeah. Anyway, so again, y'all, welcome back. We are right in the middle of our main topics. Of course, if you're just tuning in, this is where we take the 4 main trending topics across the entire HBCU landscape, and we condense them in for the show. A bit of good news coming out of Miami. Shout out to them. This comes to us from the Miami Herald. If I can get it up. There we go. All right. Yeah, and that's about as trash as the Wi-Fi. So the Dolphins had the most players from HBCUs to start the 24 season. This is why this matters. Larry Little had a very unique pregame routine. Before every game, the future Pro Football Hall of Famer would sit in his locker and scan the other team's roster. He wasn't looking to scout the opposing defenses. He wasn't looking to see if he knew anybody, and he certainly wasn't looking to find who went to the best schools. In actuality, he wanted to see how many players attended a historically Black college and university. Although they were our opponents, I was proud to see those guys have an opportunity to play in the NFL, said Little, who attended Bethune-Cookman and later played 12 seasons for the Dolphins. That's how much pride I had, still have, in going to an HBCU. Although it's been nearly half a century since Little played his last down, the HBCU legacy is alive and well in Miami. The Dolphins had the most players who attended an HBCU at the 53-man deadline in August, according to the NCAA. Led by 5-time Pro Bowl offensive tackle Terron Armstead, Arkansas Pine Bluff, as well as linebacker Quentin Bell, Prairie View A&M, and tackle Keon Smith, Fayetteville State, the trio is tasked with upholding the rich legacy of HBCUs that once boasted with talents from these historic institutions. Look, I don't think we got to talk about how important that is, largely because we see it. We talk about it all the time. We talk about it when the HBCU Legacy Bowl comes up. We talk about it when we're looking at the stats. We know at one time, I think we said 10%, if I'm not mistaken. 10% of the Pro Football Hall of Fame comes out of HBCUs. Like that's crazy. And I mean, let's talk the elephant in the room though. It was only 3. There's only 3. They're leading, and it's only 3. And sprinkle it all out. The Patriots, the Cowboys, the Saints, the Falcons. Again, y'all got me shouting out teams and schools that I normally wouldn't shout out. So no, I'm here for the culture. But again, we know the history of it. And as a matter of fact, I think I was watching HBCU Coaches Corner, and E-Rob was on there. And he was talking about how when he was in the league, it was the same thing. Like, he's got swag tagged on him. And, like he and Michael Strahan and other members of the league, they will always go around and they'd be talking about, that's how they greet each other. What up, swag? What up, swag? And again, to a larger extent, all HBCUs. When you look at, again, Michael Strahan's, Shannon Sharp coming out of Savannah State. Strahan was at Texas Southern. It's a long legacy, a long, well-deserved legacy that's coming out of HBCUs. I do wish that we would talk about it more. I do wish that we could, push more on the NFL to do more. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to compete. And I will say, in fairness, it's not a ton of FCS players that get drafted like that. As a matter of fact, this year, I think of all the FCS players that got drafted, I think over half of them came from HBCUs, and it was still a small number. Now, you had a bunch of undrafted free agents who also made their way in. A lot of people made the practice team, and then some went on to the CFL and the UFL. So my thing is, these players are getting the opportunity to play professional football. That's really all we can ask in this, although I would push for more. But shout out to the Miami Dolphins. Shout out to them for highlighting this. And let's keep the legacy of HBCU players in the football space. I really do wish it were more. Like, that's the honest truth. But I would like to know your thoughts on it. So head on over to Twitter at Nick Eden. Let me know your thoughts. And finally, and I got the right graphic for it. My goodness. NCAA D2 rankings have 4 HBCU programs eyeing the playoffs. I have told y'all, stop sleeping on D2 teams. I'm not even going to read the full article. I'm going to read a little bit of it, but it does come from HBCU Game Day. In Super Region 2 of the NCAA 2 regional rankings, 4 HBCU programs are in the mix for playoff contention as we head into the final week before the field is announced. With only the top 7 teams earning a playoff spot, each HBCU's Week 11 outcome will be pivotal in determining their postseason fate. And so I won't go through each of them in terms of what it looks like for them. I will say the 4 schools are Miles College, Johnson C. Smith, which I'm going to talk a little bit about in Fam Topics, Virginia Union, and Winston-Salem State. With these 4 HBCU football programs, Their NCAA playoff hopes will rest largely on the performance of Miles and Virginia Union. This week's results will be decisive in determining which HBCUs make it to the playoff field. For more insights on team scenarios and standing, check HBCU Game Day for the latest updates. And again, shout out to HBCU Game Day, friend of the show. Let me say this. I was wrong. I'll be the first to admit this. I was wrong earlier this year. I said that Miles College is not the same Miles College from last year. And in fairness, I was largely basing that on that performance against us, which, again, I know it's not always fair to compare a D2 to a D1 team. However, they did beat us last year. Now, we came back and we beat them 24-3 this year. We, obviously, who don't know, I'm talking about Alabama State. But I was wrong, so I want to publicly apologize to Miles College. Once they got in their groove, they have been beasting. They beat my Pyru Panthers. So I will absolutely say that, I know, right, Liv? It's four of them. Miles College is doing their thing. Virginia Union, my gosh, doing their thing. Johnson C. Smith, regardless of the last two games, Johnson C. Smith is definitely doing their thing. They completely turned that program around. And Winston-Salem State, which might I add, if you go back just about a month and a half ago, and somebody asked me who my D2 teams were, I said my CIAA team was Winston-Salem State. For whatever reason, over the summer, I just started really looking at their program, and I'm like, it's something here. It's something here, and we're going to see it. And they really proved themselves. I know that A&T is not the A&T of old, but they came within an inch of beating A&T in their big game matchup early in the season, and they've just been putting on a great show. Listen, again, y'all, D2 football, and shout out to D2 football HBCU guy, because when everybody else was like, we're not going to cover anything dealing with D2 football, he was the one that was doing spaces. He's made his way over. He's on the Offscript network now with his show. He's from Tuskegee, but I mean, everybody ain't perfect. But shout out to him, because when everybody else was ignoring Division II football, he was right on the cusp of it. And he was like, look, D2's got something to say. And I will say that D2 has probably been, with the exception of like Central, NC State, Jackson State, FAMU, even though we lost ASU Grambling, D2 has probably put on the best games in the HBCU space collectively this year. So big shout out to them. I am excited to see what happens when they actually announce it. And, they're going to keep doing their thing. I do wish that we would have had the Florida Beach Bowl this year, because I've been saying that what I wanted to see was Johnson C. Smith versus Clark Atlanta, or at the very least, Johnson C. Smith versus Miles. I wanted to see those matchups in a big bowl game. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get that. So maybe next year, I don't think, and I'm going to make a point of it next fall to start doing some more traveling to D2 games. There are some classics that I've been told, hey, Nick, you gotta be at this classic. So I'm definitely going to make a point to be there a little bit more. Y'all, we're going to take our second commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking my absolute favorite part of the show, and that is Fam Topics. It's In the Quad with Nick Eden.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
From now on, It's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, you're gonna love this. He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, these cars are going fast, I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. This is the part of the show that is my absolute favorite, and that is the fam topics, where we take your questions and comments and read them on the show. And again, if you want to get your questions and comments read on the show, it's real simple. Head on over to my socials, at Nick Eden on Twitter, at Nick Eden on Instagram. Click the link tree in the bio, and if they are appropriate, we will read them. I will read them. I keep saying we, but I'll read them. If they're not appropriate, no, it's not going to happen. But I think I do say when it comes to we, that it does have to go through another person. Bam! Uncle Samson, what's going on? Uncle Samson, he wants your fam topics. I want your fam topics. Let's make sure y'all have been off the chain these last few days. So yeah, there is that. All right, what's our first? All right, and our first fam topic is, I can't see it. All right, I got it. Thank you. I got to admit, you were right about Blark Atlanta. The pie, I'm going to get you to say Blark Atlanta one time before the end of 2024. Y'all clip this. Y'all send it to him. I promise you. Coach Teddy Keaton, who I have all the admiration for in the world, I'm going to get you to say Blark Atlanta one time. Yeah, look, I said beginning of the season, when Coach Keaton got announced that he would be taking over the reins at Clark Atlanta, and that he will be bringing David Wright with him, along with other players from Allen. I said, y'all watch, because everybody's been dogging out Clark Atlanta, and I get it. They've only had 6 winning seasons since 1985. I get it. But I said, he is going to turn that program around. And see, here's the thing. It sets the bar so high because generally people are like, oh, well, it usually takes a coach about 3 to 5 years to turn a program around. And we've seen in the last few years where a losing program can become a winning one in one season. 2 seasons or less at the very most, but one season. We saw it with Coach Prime. Obviously, yeah, I know people like to give it an asterisk, but we saw it with Coach Prime. Is what it is. Jackson State wasn't a losing team, but certainly not the dominance that they had when Coach Prime got there. We saw it with Coach E-Rob. Again, y'all know my nickname Hornet Holic came from the Donald Ely years, and I'll keep saying his name, especially since he wants to talk smack about school after he got fired. But, dude, you were a terrible coach. There's just no way around it. You were a terrible coach. And we had losing season after losing season. Coach E-Rob comes in. We immediately come back with a winning season. And each season, we've won more games than the last. And then, we see it with Coach Keaton. So, yes, and now we see them in the SIAC championship game going against Miles College. Now, they've got an uphill battle because Miles has already defeated them. And the stakes are a lot higher because it is for the SIAC championship. And Miles is not playing around. I'm telling you now, they are not playing around. But I have faith that Coach Keaton and the Pyru Panthers will pull off this victory. So big, huge shout out to them on that. And everybody who, if you don't know, my connection to Clark Atlanta is really simple. Two of my sisters are alums of Clark Atlanta. I've been going to the AUC since I was 9-10 years old. I pretty much grew up an AUC kid. So I have loved Clark Atlanta for years and years. And this season is a prime example of Clark Atlanta's motto, I'll find a way or make one. And shout out to Coach Keaton and his staff. The Panthers have made a way when people didn't think there was one before. So, yes, I was absolutely right about Clark Atlanta. Y'all gonna stop discounting what I got to say. All right, what's next? Yes, absolutely. So if you have not seen the announcement, Liv for Hoops, Liv, I think Liv is in the chat. Shout out to Liv. Liv is the newest correspondent at HBCU Plus. There's some other things coming down the pipeline that will be announced when they're ready to be announced. There's some more announcements this week about some things that's coming up this weekend. I have said it on the show several times. I think that when it comes to this basketball space, both men's and women's, I don't feel like there's anybody that's more knowledgeable and has more credibility in this space than Liv. And it is absolutely a pleasure over the last few weeks to have worked with her in the capacity that I have. And that's not taking credit for anything. She's just dope. There's just no way around it. She's just dope. So I'm like super duper excited to see what comes of, Yeah, definitely, Liv. Definitely. I'm super duper proud of her. I'm super duper excited about whatever comes from this. And y'all make sure, if y'all are not following Liv on Twitter and on Instagram, y'all need to head over there and follow her. She's dropping dimes every day. And for me, someone who admittedly, I'm not a basketball guy. And while yes, I understand the basics of the game, just the detailed intricacies, I don't know. And so whenever I'm watching her content, she makes it in a way that is so palatable for everybody. Like it's in a way that even if you are like brand new to the game, she breaks things down in a way where it's just not like, some of these folks out here that use a bunch of jargon, some of these folks that are just trying to prove that I'm such you can tell she's an expert in the space, but she breaks it down in a way that your casual fan will fully understand it. So I think that this is going to be exciting. I think, again, coming off of an exciting WNBA season, going into an exciting SWAC and MEAC basketball season, I think she is a perfect person to deliver that basketball content. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does. So, again, everybody, please, if you have not, go on over at Liv for Hoops on Instagram and on Twitter. Give her a follow, give her a shout out, give her a big congratulations. And again, Liv, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do in this space. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. All right, what we got next? Can I get a shout out for my sorors on Founders Day? Absolutely. I think I know who this came from. What's going on, Stephanie? Shout out to the sorors, the sisters, the ladies, the poodles of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Today is their Founders Day. I think it's 102 years. So listen, it's way too many of y'all to name that I know and have a lot of love for personally. But big, huge shout out to Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I am looking forward. I will be, because y'all have completely taken over my algorithm on TikTok. So I will be looking forward to scrolling through and seeing all the wonderful videos of you all celebrating. I will also be looking forward to seeing Fantasia do a Shake That Monkey. I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, listen. If you've never seen Fantasia do that stroll, let me explain something to you now. Man or woman, you're gonna enjoy yourself like that. Woo! That's a special woman right there. So shout out to Sigma Gamma Rho. Happy Founders Day. and please continue to do what you do in the community. I will say everywhere that I've lived, whether that's the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Atlanta, New York, Baltimore, Montgomery, Birmingham, they are quite literally some of the hardest working people that I know in the Divine Nine. They're always out there working, always out there servicing the community, and especially as educators. So yeah, big shout out to the sorors of Sigma Gamma Rho. And we are going to take another commercial break and come back with more fam topics. It's in the quad with Nick Eden.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Hey, sweet new gear. It's like Best Buy hooked you guys up.
Pretty sick, right?
What is that?
That's our traveling trophy. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Ah, a goat for the goats. Fits these pro level setups.
Last year's trophy.
Not a goat.
Nope.
What if you could get all the latest and greatest gaming gear from one place?
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. We are right in the middle of our fam topics. And I got a text while I was on commercial break. Somebody asked me what's going on with the beard. So here's the deal. Generally, during election season, I will not shave. I let my beard grow out a little bit more, y'all. You know I got a bushy beard, but I let it grow out a little bit more. And then right after I cut it. Well, I've been home for a couple of days now. I have not cut it. It is what it is. I'm gonna see if I can ride out. It's November 12th, right? I'm gonna see if I can ride out the rest of November without cutting my beard for No Shave November, because I'm definitely not doing the other No November thing. So yeah, y'all might see. Now, here's the other thing. I might change my mind tonight, and then tomorrow I pop on this piece and it's freshly groomed. But I mean, that just kind of is what it is. And I'm trying to enjoy my last few months with it because the last time I shaved my beard was at the end of 2019, going into 2020. I wasn't expecting the pandemic to come and then everybody have a COVID beard. But I did say, like, as I'm on this weight loss journey now, that if I meet my target, and I'm putting it out there now, if I meet my target of losing 50 pounds, I'm cutting this beard off. I'm be down to a goatee or maybe even just a lower beard, but this is going to be gone, okay? So just keep that in mind. I don't want to hear anything from anybody. No, don't shave it, don't shave it. Y'all lucky I hadn't shaved it already. I'm trying to hold out. But if I hit this weight loss goal, it's out. So this is my accountability now to myself. And then, you know, if I don't hit my goal, and y'all probably gonna call me out about it, and I'm gonna end up on the calendar. So again, y'all, we are in the middle of our fam topics, and our next fam topic How did JCSU fall so hard? I'm not understanding it at all. Listen, that was a surprise. It was a surprise. Johnson C. Smith has had an amazing year. And then the last two games have it fell apart for them. It happens, y'all. It happens. I mean, I look at it no different than you look at how dominant FAMU has been in the SWAC outside of Jackson State. And then, they suffered their second loss in a year. And it's the Prairie View, which I'll be honest with you, it's no disrespect to Prairie View. Nobody thought that would happen, right? But it happens, y'all. Any given Saturday, any team can win. Jay, I'm gonna holler at you about that. Give me let me just put up here so everybody knows what you're talking about. Jay, send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll right after the show I'll send a text to somebody. If nothing else, I know she'll let me know where you need to go for that. But just shoot me a DM after that. Shoot me your email and your number, and I'll make sure that if nothing else, I reach out to her and she can tell me. But so with Johnson C. Smith, again, it doesn't take away anything that they've done this year. It doesn't take away them having an absolutely phenomenal season, right? And they're still in contention for D2 playoffs. So I think what they put together this year, I think it gives them something to build off on. I do think that you will see this type of dominance from them going forward. I just don't think it falls apart for them. So, and I am going to, at some point next year, I'm going to make my way to Charlotte. I was hoping that when I was in North Carolina this last time that I'd be able to catch a home game. But y'all know during election season, I'm literally working 7 days a week, some 13, 14-hour days. And I just couldn't I was in Raleigh. They were only a couple hours away. I was trying to make my way to Charlotte. To be honest, I couldn't even make it to a Shaw game, right? And Shaw was literally 5 minutes from my office. And I couldn't even make it to a Shaw home game this year. So next year, I'll definitely make sure that I am there at least for one game. And I want to see Johnson C. Smith up close and personal. But but listen, they still have a chance to prove themselves in the playoffs if they get a berth. So I'm super excited for what's in store for Johnson C. Smith, and shout out to them. And shout out, real quick, I gotta shout out my girl Ashley White. Shout out to Ashley White. Ashley is the social media coordinator, or is he the social media coordinator or director for Johnson C. Smith's women's basketball team? I actually think and I don't know if Liv is still in the comments. Liv, I think y'all have conversed before. If not, I want to link y'all up. Ashley is also a former athlete. She's super duper passionate about women's basketball, and she's a dope graphic artist. So I want to shout out to her. She was officially named in that social media role a couple of months ago. So I got to make sure that when I go out there, I got to holler at Ashley. And Ashley, if you're watching, I do have your HBCU Media Matters shirt. I just hit me and I'm going to send it to you. I just had to get home and get out of campaign mode. But so shout out to Johnson C. Smith. I look forward to seeing y'all next year and possibly in the spring. I might be up there for a couple of basketball games. So we'll see. All right. And our last fam topic, early picks for basketball, best programs this year. I have no clue. I'm not a basketball guy. I can go by what I've seen. My bias tells me that Bama State's going to do a heck of a lot better. TJ Matlock is playing right now, and I think Coach Matlock is finally getting over the humps that have escaped us for a couple of years. I'm not being funny. I'm not counting the Mo Williams year. He wanted to be at Jackson State, and he should. You should be where you want to be. I don't count that year. Coach Matlock is rebuilding. So my bias is going to tell me Bama State. I also, past seasons have told me that Texas Southern is going to come through with what they do, but you cannot ignore what Grambling State is doing on the men's side. And then on the women's side, I'm split right now. In my opinion, and again, take it for what it's worth. Not a basketball guy, but just kind of early on, I think that Alabama A&M is going to make some noise in a way that people probably don't know. I also think, and this is, I may be just a little bit hype about it because I was on ONG Strike Zone right before right after she did her interview. Just the energy coming out, and y'all, please forgive me, I don't know her name, but FAMU, I think they are where they kind of lacked in the last couple of years. I'm kind of hopeful, just kind of based off some of the things that she said. But again, not a basketball guy, so please take what I say with a grain of sand. But I do think we will definitely all be looking at Norfolk State's women's basketball program as being the standout of both the SWAC and the MEAC this year in some form or fashion. So yeah, again, and if you want to ask somebody who's much more credible in the space, Live for Hoops. So, I mean, you know, it's there. So, all right, y'all, we are 52 minutes after the hour. We are going to take our last commercial break, and I will be back with my final thoughts. It's in the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
Whether you call her Granny, Nana, my dear, she knows a treat makes any meal special. So come to McDonald's and treat yourself to the Grandma McFlurry today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. Final thoughts. I say this every week. I will continue to say it every week. Y'all, please, please, please be safe. Be safe if you're going out to, whether it's a regular game, whether it's homecoming, please be safe. We have averaged, I've said it before, we've averaged 1 shooting per week since homecoming season started. And I'm hoping that this week we can actually break the cycle. There are a lot of games that are coming up that are going to be, instrumental to the rest of the season. So high stakes. You got Jackson State versus Alabama State in Montgomery. You got Howard versus NCCU. It's a lot going on. So with stuff being that high stakes, you're going to have more people there. Please be safe. I don't care if you love me or hate me, or if you're lukewarm on me, but come Sunday, I want to see you on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, talking whatever mess about your school, because I want you to be here, right? That's the best thing I can say. Y'all, please, I beg of you, be safe, be aware of your surroundings. Please talk to your kids if they're at these schools, whether it's HBCU or PWI. Make sure that you all are being safe, because I don't want to lose anybody else here. Also, HBCUAC, formerly the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference, right now they are in the middle. They are right in the middle of the HBCUAC Volleyball Championship. I'm telling you, and if you love physical sports, I'm telling you, HBCU volleyball is like that. It is. But right now, they're in the middle of the HBCUAC championship tournament. Head on over, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, head on over after the show. Download the HBCU Plus app. You can watch it for free. That's the great thing about this app, y'all. It's free. Everywhere that you can watch the content coming out of HBCU Plus is free. Until next month when DirecTV comes around. Anyway, but y'all head on over there. They're doing amazing right now. And I will also say that keep an eye out for what's going on the basketball side as well. Look, y'all, HBCU sports does not stop at football season. I know Celebration Bowl is like a big culmination, but it's a lot coming up in basketball. We got a lot coming up in track. We got a lot coming up in baseball and softball. Last year, the baseball and softball seasons were off the chain. I'll actually be broadcasting from the SWAC softball tournament this year in 2025. So yeah, I'm telling y'all. I am telling y'all. Oh, one last thing. I don't know how I forgot this. Listen, I said I was going to do a big announcement, and I still will do it, but I want to tell you all first, for those who are going to be in Montgomery for Turkey Day Classic, I will be there, and I will be broadcasting in the quad with Nick Eden from the Turkey Day Classic. I am excited. It's my first TDC since 2007, and I am super duper excited to be going home to my alma mater, Alabama State, and to be promoting and broadcasting my brand new show in the quad. So if you're in Montgomery, you're in the surrounding areas, come on out. I'd love to see you all. Stop by the booth if you want to do a quick interview on air. Just stop by. I appreciate it so much. And with that, hey, tomorrow, right here, I will see you. Same time, same place. Take care.